Hyena here, and today I'm gonna teach you how to host the coolest furry room party ever. That's right, it's another how-to video. It's been a long time since I've done a how-to video because I've been doing a lot of skits because I've been depressed in quarantine. But I say this with a smile because I have had the great fortune of being able to go to 2 furry cons in the last month, and it's really lifted my spirits being able to see all my friends again after not seeing them for more than a year, and it's just put me back in a really good headspace. So I think from here on forward I'm gonna be back to my old fun, happy, creative self. You're still gonna see skits from Gideon and Curtis, but there's gonna be more of me opening up and talking about myself. But anyways, that's not why you clicked on this video. You want to find out how to host the coolest furry room party ever. And I've been to dozens of furry cons because I don't have any other hobbies. And as I'm now at the age of 28, I feel like a bit of an elder statesman of the fandom. I know I shouldn't be considered old at 28, but I always see people popping up like, I'm Fusky the Wolf, I'm 19, I have 8,000 friends who are aged 19 and 20. I was born after the year 2000. And I'm like, I get it. I'm getting older. No, but 28 isn't actually all that old. Maybe in furry terms it is. So I want to pass down some of the knowledge that I have acquired over years of partying well and badly, and gonna pass it on to you. I think this is gonna be a new type of video format I'm gonna throw in here just so that, you know, you can learn something and you can see my goofy hyena self. Okay, so if you're hosting a room party, first thing you gotta do, make sure everyone's 21. That's right, this is a video who can only be used by people over 21 or 18, depending on the legal drinking age in your jurisdiction. There's gonna be a bunch of Canadian comments being like, but we're 19 in Canada. We get it, drinking ages are different, but this is the US. America. Drinking age is 21 here, basically. So first thing you gotta check is that everyone in the room is 21 years of age. So make sure you know that you're serving to people 21 or older, because you could get in trouble if they're not. You gotta check IDs, or unless you've known them for a while and they can't possibly be lying about their age. So definitely do that, because you don't want the police calling you. No cutesy puns. We don't necessarily fuck with the 1-2 on this channel, but you can't be breaking the law, especially in such a relatively public space like a furry con. So pay attention to the local laws. Also, furry cons may have laws against carrying open containers, so you can't be going around like, about to drink this handle, and then a cop stops you and they're like, sorry, can't carry that in public. Local city laws, so don't get in trouble that way. Also, this handle of Jose Cuervo is gone. Jose, where did you Quer go? Get it? It's a pun. Okay, next thing you gotta check, are you 21? Because you also gotta be 21 to drink in the US, okay? So don't be breaking any laws, okay? Next, if you're new to drinking, make sure to have like a variety of drinks and liquors that you can choose from. So don't be buying like a 48 pack of Mike's Hard, because you might really like Mike's Hard and you may think it's the bomb, but maybe there's 14 other people there and they don't want to drink your strange flavored beer with you, because that's really what it is. Mike's Hard is just like a really sweet beer. That's why it just kind of tastes weird. Like, yeah, it is lemony, but the reason why it makes you sick after a while is it's just beer. It's just beer that's really lemony. Look in the pack. So what you want to do is you want to get some basic bee drinks that everyone can enjoy. So, you know, have some rum. Malibu is definitely a favorite of a lot of furs, so people can mix it with Coke. You know, make a rum and Coke. And there's a lot of tropical fruity drinks you can make with rum if you're some kind of mixologist, but just have rum. People like rum. There's Captain Morgan, Bacardi. Yes, provide beer if people want to drink beer, but make sure it's a beer crowd. Otherwise, you want to have a bunch of liquors, like things that can be mixed, high concentration alcohols, a vodka, a whiskey if that's kind of the crowd, tequila if people are feeling adventurous. Definitely suss out what people are into. You can always ask beforehand, hey, what do people like? And definitely have a ton of mixers. Mixers are just like sodas, orange juice, anything that's like sweet or like even sometimes a little bitter to kind of just change the taste up a little. And here's the thing, you don't have to go like top shelf. Don't necessarily pick the thing that is the cheapest at the bottom, because it may taste like engine oil and that's not always fun. A $30 handle of vodka or rum, that goes a long way and that lasts longer, because a lot of people coming to your room and they just want something that they can mix with. Ooh, and this is one I learned the other year. Try mixing vodka and Gatorade, or tequila and Powerade. So like just mix a spirit or mix an alcohol with a sports drink, and then what happens is you're supposed to get a little less hungover because you're mixing it with something that gives you electrolytes. And I think it works to an extent, but if you drink too much, you're still gonna get a hangover or some adverse effects because liquor can be very strong. So just keep an eye out for that. Also, talking about people coming to your room, make sure that people can handle their stuff. If somebody is an inexperienced drinker, definitely give them less. And also, do not pressure anyone into drinking because you are not forced to drink. You're not obliged to drink. Water is fine. Make sure to have some non-alcoholic options because not everyone's a drinker. Some people are very sensitive to alcohol. Some people just don't like it. So just be aware, do not pressure anyone into drinking. That's just a big important thing. You're the room host, so you gotta make sure everyone that is drinking should be drinking. So if somebody's like, oh, hey Nuss, can you pour me another one of those pre-mixed Long Island iced teas? I lost my feet, pause. If somebody's not balanced, like falling over all the time, is hard to understand, is speaking way slower than usual, looks disoriented, definitely cut them off. Something I learned recently, I mean, people bring those pocket breathalyzers to furry cons, so you could always get one if you wanted to just make sure everybody's alcohol level is at like a respectable amount. I mean, nobody should be driving right after attending a room party, full stop. But having that there as just a tool to check in and see how drunk or not drunk you are is very important. So please be safe. It's important that people are at a reasonable level of intoxication because when people get way too drunk, then the not fun things happen, like people passing out, people throwing up, people passing out and throwing up, and even worse things like hospitalization and all that, which is not fun. There is no obligation to drink any more or any less than anyone. It's very okay to say no to drinks, even if you like drinking. If you start feeling like the room is spinning or you want really in control of things, then maybe it's time to hit the brakes. Because obviously people are gonna try and take care of you, your friends are gonna try and take care of you, but you wanna make sure you're drinking at like a good level. For some people, it's better just not to drink at all. So really it's personal preference. Just know your limits. It is definitely okay to say no. It's better to say no than be pressured into putting yourself in a situation you're not comfortable in. So that's just kind of a little mini rant on being responsible. Because when you're serving liquor, you have a responsibility to keep yourself safe and keep the people around you safe. Just make sure that you can take care of yourself and handle your own liquor. That's very important. Booze is a fun thing. Booze can also be a dangerous thing. To know that alcohol is truly a double-edged sword. It can for sure be a social lubricant, but it can also ruin your night. Especially like going to the first con back. You're like, drinking, yeah, I haven't done this in a while. And then you go too hard. So don't go too hard. Make sure to keep your stuff in check. Also, this is just like a huge tangent of a video. If you're regularly taking any medication, see if it interacts with alcohol, because I've been described as a lightweight before, and to some extent, yes, I am, but I didn't realize like your Allegras, your once-a-day allergy pills, interacted badly with alcohol. So I've been going to furry conventions for years, popping these Allegras, and basically having something in my system that just like ridiculously, dramatically decreases my tolerance to alcohol. So I've been having these so I don't get the sniffles from allergies, but then taking like one shot and being like, so for this most recent convention, it turned out my alcohol tolerance is a lot higher when I don't have something in my system that is making me not tolerate alcohol. So that's some food for thought. If you're on a medication that doesn't mix well with alcohol, just don't drink alcohol or drink it very sparingly, because your one shot is gonna be different from that person's one shot. If you're trying to get a buzz, drink enough to get a buzz, and that might only be half a shot. And maybe your medication says that you shouldn't do more than 2 shots. So maybe the half a shot is gonna be good enough for you for the night. And if you're not experienced drinking, then it's gonna be the same thing. So definitely realize what other things you're putting in your body that could affect you when you're doing the drinkies. Actually, I gotta hydrate for a bit. Here's another thing, we're doing it live. Okay, I'll take it off my head. Ugh, real. I've been showing my face on this channel for a long time. Hi, cheers. So make sure to stay hydrated. Being hydrated is very important, and you can talk to any of your friends who's like studying or is, being a nurse or an EMT or a doctor. Dehydration is bad when you're drinking, so definitely get those fluids up, whether it's water, electrolytes. Water is probably a good thing to take down because sometimes those electrolyte things can be pretty sugary and induce vomiting, although actually honestly vomiting is a little bit bad. probably gonna cut that. But make sure you're drinking water, getting your fluids in. It's gonna save you. And like, look, I may have been jumping in a little bit to the Captain Morgan Long Island iced teas. I did not start at the top, by the way. It was probably around Captain Morgan's belly where I started tonight, okay? So don't do that. Don't drink that much if you don't have the tolerance for it, okay? Just be safe. That's really what this video is about. Just be safe. And some of my viewers can actually attest to this in the comments because I actually met them at Megaplex. I'm reasonably good at cutting myself off when I am like 2 shots away from like being disoriented. I know my limits and I know, okay, if I don't drink for a while, I'm still gonna have this buzz, so let's just keep this buzz going. Don't put more stuff in here. Because when you're at a furry con, people are gonna offer you things, and you don't have to say yes to any of them at all. In fact, default by saying no. But when you start to hang out with people you're comfortable with, you don't have to drink all the time. And even if you are a drinker, just go steady with it. Just be consistent throughout the night. Don't just be like, glug, 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 and then wake up at 6 a.m. the next morning wondering what happened in the night. You want to remember your night. Remember your night. It's important. So yeah, this has been a headless tip from us Hyena. Okay, let's get to the lighter stuff about hosting a room party and making sure everyone has a good time. Here are some things that are just great for ambience. Firstly is the solo cups. You want like red cups, blue cups, doesn't matter. Red cups are fashionable right now. The reason why you want these cups or plastic cups is because the room has maybe like 4 cups with it, and especially in these trying times, you do not want to be mixing cups with people. Just get like a stack of like 80 solo cups, it'll be great. People will use them up. Doesn't matter if there's like a couple of you in there. People are gonna use them up, they're gonna be happy that you had them, and it's gonna just elevate your gathering. Next one is have a bunch of like fun lights if you can. It adds to the party atmosphere. Those are just some black lights behind me. They're purple colored black lights. You can also have colored bulbs. These are just normal bulbs for demonstration, but these are actually light bulbs that you can bring to a con. Unscrew the light bulbs, make sure to put them back because you don't want to damage the room, but unscrew the light bulbs and then replace them with the cool festive lights. That's just going to increase the party vibes music. I'm still trying to find my speakers. I haven't been able to find my speakers for like 7 or 8 weeks. They're somewhere in the house, but bring some speakers. If you want to play some music, just have a USB speaker. It's going to enhance the mood a little bit. And if you're not much of a DJ, just look for some like YouTube EDM streams or whatever genre people like there. Go to Spotify and just look for genre playlists. You can always ask people, especially if people are like a little introverted but really into music, ask them like, hey, do you want to play some tunes on the speaker? And that's a great way to get them involved in the party. Okay, here's another one as well. Be specific, especially if you're trying to keep it a small gathering. Be like, invite only. Okay, if you don't want random people showing up, be like, invite only. You don't want your acquaintance to bring their 15 friends and drink up all of your booze and get you a noise complaint. Make sure that you clear who's coming in first. Just be like, hey, you're invited. If you are coming with anyone, please check with me. Definitely the please check with your host thing. If someone is explicitly friends only, invite only, you know not to bring that extra guest, because even though your guest might vibe, the place may already be busy. It's just all about being a good guest. If you don't want randoms showing up, say invite only. If you do want randoms showing up, if you do want to meet new people, then be like, yeah, bring your friends. Bring a friend or two. You don't want it to spiral out of control. Okay, here's an underrated tip. Bring a fan or have some kind of cooling thing. Now, in a lot of hotel rooms, you can actually activate what's called VIP mode. So your thermostat in a hotel room usually only goes down to 65, but there is a VIP mode on a lot of air conditioning systems for like special guests. If they want it cooler, where you kind of hold a button, then press the power button and another button, hold it down for a bit, and then you can set the temperature lower, sometimes potentially to 60 degrees. And why would you do that? If there's a bunch of suitors in there. If there's a bunch of suitors in your room, you definitely want to keep them cool. Also, just the general body heat of having like a dozen people in a small hotel room definitely makes everything a lot warmer. So even if you don't have a suitor, definitely try and get that temperature down. If you have a fan, do that. If you can air the window a little bit, do that. Yeah, just keep the temps down if you can. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I've seen some very creative ways at cons recently. Like people have brought like leaf blowers to cool down fursuits. I got leaf blown. Yeah, I got blown at Denver. Somebody put a leaf blower up to me, and I was in fursuit, and it was just really, really relaxing, which is so awesome. Bring the Folex for any stains, especially if it's one of those kind of parties, yeah, furries. And this is more just for fursuiting in general, but make sure you have some isopropyl. You definitely want a spray bottle. If you can bring it yourself, please do that, because furry cons routinely run out of isopropyl in nearby stores. Definitely like drinking games or card games that can be made into drinking games. Definitely have some icebreakers ready, especially if people there don't really know each other, and then you can have people playing King's Cup or some other fun little drinking game. Just gets people being social, because we know furries aren't necessarily the most social animals, even though we're animals. And it's important to have ways to break that ice. So if you do want to do drinking games, that's a great way for people to meet other people. The noise factor, okay? So if you get any kind of noise complaints, you are just gonna have to shut it down. You can't be like, the party's going on forever. Party rules. Screw you and your rules. There's no rules in this land. What happens is if you're belligerent and like that, they can kick you out of your room. And I've known people that have been kicked out of their own room for that reason. So definitely comply if security comes by. It's not your place of residence. So please, if they come by and knock in, stop all that roadblocking. I can't think of something on the fly like that. I'm a little out of improv. But yes, please comply by all of the hotel's rules. Also, just in general, like before traveling in this day and age, even if you're vaccinated, please get a test. You can go to a Walmart or a Walgreens. Please, please, please be safe and get tested. Here's just another partying rule in general. If you're new with someone and you find them cute, this is just a general thing. Please don't rush into things, especially when it comes to, like, you know, flirting, touching, all that kind of stuff. It is very, very important to ask permission to do anything like that. You know, furry is all about consent. You know, can I get a hug? Can I pet you on the head? Can I take your picture? Please ask things like that. Furries won't be offended or find you weird if you were asking for things, because we're all fuzzy animal people, and a lot of us have suits and can't see a damn thing anyways. And be ready to hear no, okay? If you find someone cute but they don't hug people, that's their decision and you have to respect that, okay? So we've been ranting and raving for like the last 40 minutes, honestly, about having a fun time, how to be the best host at room parties. But most of it is like common sense. Definitely, besides from the basic, like providing liquor in a good space, you want to find ways to connect people with one another. If there's people invited that are into a certain interest, like a certain type of car, you might want to think about inviting some of your friends that are into that kind of car. Like, what you are doing as host is making sure people have a great time. And the best way you can make sure people have a great time is by creating a great mix of people. You know, having people that will get along with one another. You know, not inviting people that know that they're like worst enemies with each other, okay? Inviting people that will mix and gel, and it's just gonna lead to a much better time, okay? So please just be a little thoughtful with your invites. If you can make introductions to people who are really going to be friendly or maybe friends with each other, that's a great way to get started. So yeah, that's really it for the video for now. I'm sure I'm going to remember things right after I stop this, but I showed off my little booze collection. Make sure to have a variety, folks. Just ask your friends, that's the main thing. And if you don't know what they have, just like vodka, tequila, rum, and whiskey. I know that's a lot already, but like 2 of those will get you a long way, and some mixtures, some Coke, some Sprite. If you're daring, definitely get some champagne mimosas, champagne and orange juice. That's also a really good crowd pleaser. You definitely want to try a lot of different things. So please, party safe, party hard, and be responsible. Yeah, just do all the things to make your guests have a great time. I think that's going to be it for this video. I have greatly enjoyed going to furry conventions, hanging out with people again, seeing people again. It's really gotten me in a much better headspace, and I think I'm going to do a lot more like fandom oriented things now that I am in a better mood state. So you'll be seeing, along with the usual skits, a lot more silly, lighthearted, informative stuff. So I'm Hyena, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Yay! Yeah, no, so I'll have a drink.